Welcome back to solving equations. Uh, so now this is going to be a little different than my previous videos because now I'm going to throw in some numbers and a lot of variables or a lot of letters. So now you're always going to be asked to solve for some letters. So this is what I've got on the right side. In this case, on number one, I've got S equals 4LW plus ZWH. And I want to solve for H. So what I'm going to do is I know I'm going to solve for H. So I want to, because we read from left to right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this around and say 4LW plus 2WH equals S. And then I'm going to solve for H. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a box around everything that's attached to H, which is, in this case, it's the ZWH. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to solve for H. So that means I need to get rid of my 4LW. So I'm going to subtract every one. 4LW on both sides. So what's left is I've got ZWH equals, now S minus 4LW, I cannot do anything to that at all. So now by moving my 4LW over, that frees up my ZWH. So my next step, what I want to do is I want to protect my H, what I'm solving for. So that means I need to divide by ZW. And by doing that, my H equals S minus 4LW over ZW. My next problem. Now my next problem I think is a little bit easier because I'm solving for P. So what I would just go ahead and do right off the bat is go ahead and switch this around to 4NP equals M. And what I want to do now is I want to solve for P. So that means I want to need to get rid of my 4N by dividing. So by doing this, my P equals M over 4N. Now, I also like throwing in a problem like this because in our next unit, we will be talking about graphing. And this is one that you have X and Y. So this is trying to put, when you solve for Y, it's putting it in the MX plus B format or the slope-intercept form. So I've got my X and Y equals 10. So if I'm solving for Y, I need to get rid of my X. So you'd say 10 minus X. Or in math, we like the variable to go first. So you can say negative X. And since that 10 is positive, you can say plus 10. Either one of these are acceptable. Now this type of problem in number 4. Is the one where I've just got a lot of variables, a lot of letters. So, since I'm solving for O, all I'm doing is I'm rearranging N plus NOP equals M. I'm just flipping the equation around. Now what I need to do is I need to solve for my O, which is right in the middle. So really what I'm doing is I need to protect everything. So I'm going to erase. I'm protecting everything because that O is in the middle. So how do I move the N over? Well, since N's positive, subtract it. And what you have now is NOP equals M minus N. Next step, I'm protecting the O now. That means I need to divide by NP on both sides. Now, some of us may try to simplify this and say, okay, since I'm solving for O is going to equal M minus N over NP, and then I can remember in math, the N's cancel. This is not how you do it. You just want to leave it as M minus N over NP. Now finally, we've got one long equation with a lot of letters, numbers, the pi symbol, and an exponent. So when you see a complicated equation just like this, don't shut down on us. Remember, do this piece by piece. I know I'm solving for P. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange this equation now, and I'm going to say 2 pi NP plus 2 pi N squared equals A. And now I need to solve for P right here. So I'm going to protect all these, 2 pi N with the P. And that means I'm going to subtract my 2 pi N squared from my A. Now these are not like terms, so we cannot, I repeat, cannot combine those. So 2 pi NP equals A minus 2 pi N squared. We're trying to solve for P, so I'm going to protect P. Means I need to divide everything in front of it, divide by 2 pi N. Now, for those that have got a computer program that's doing this homework assignment, any example like this that you're doing on your computer, you want to make sure that when you type it in that A is capitalized. So my answer is capital A minus 2 pi N squared over 2 pi N. Now just do not cancel out the 2 pi's and even one of the N's, because that is not how you do this. The reason why is because there is a minus symbol in between the A and the 2 pi N squared. So this concludes this lesson. My next lesson will be covering inequalities. Thank you very much for listening.